Hi everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for coming and spending some more time with me today. It is Stitch With Me Day, and I am going to be working on, as I no doubt you recognise, this piece, which is Night Orange London. The artwork is by Sophie Kilpatrick, and it's charted and kitted for me by Geckorouge. This is stitched 1/1 full cross on some 25 count fabric. Today is one of those Stitch With Me's. I will be answering your comments. So, beg your pardon. So if you have left me a comment, thank you very, very much. And if you're new, this is what I do on my Stitch With Me's with chat. I go through your guys' comments so that they get answered. So yeah, we'll have about an hour and a half of stitcher time. See how much we can get done. So, working the top of this building here. I'll start by working in this thread, and we'll see how much we get done today. Just a quick reminder at the outset, if you're watching this and you are still not subscribed, why not? It is free. Please do hit that button. And on the drop down, you can select all notifications and be told every time I upload a video. Because it would be great to have you guys along for the ride. So, hope everybody is doing well. It is Wednesday as I film this, midweek. What I call hump day here. Because then we're over the hump after today, and are now way down towards the weekend. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay. We all seem to be all right here, just plodding along as we do. Hannah is in, she'll be getting ready for work in a moment. Andy is also here, typing away on his laptop. Lauren's already left for college. Anyway, I do have some comments, so as I said, thank you if you have left me a comment. There has been an increase this week in comments, which I'm really grateful for, and some from new subscribers, which I'm looking forward to getting to. So yeah, so I go from the Flosstube I worked, I released last week, up to the Flosstube I released this week, but not including. So first comment I have on Flosstube 10 is from our lovely Sandy, and she says, "Great update video. I'm so glad your new rotation is working well for you. It's certainly great from this side of the fence, so to speak, and it seems that progress is more visible. Thanks for sharing. Take care. Happy stitching." Yep, it definitely is. It works wonderfully for me. I'm certainly happier with how I'm doing it. It's you know, having those extra stitches does make a difference, especially to the bigger projects. When you've got projects that are like small, they don't need a a lot of stitches to show progress. But projects that are big definitely need that extra time. And I think I've pretty much now got it cracked in how I'm working these. I'm not likely to change. I'm a creature of habit. Once I find the routine I like, that's it. Okay. Susan Savas says, nice to see your update and great progress. Thanks for sharing and happy stitching. Thank you, Susan. Yep. Okay. I think this thread's about had it now. Sorry, I seem to be slipping a little bit. Hold on. That's better. Kind of helps if I get my thread out as well, doesn't it? There are not many colours in this. There's only 52 colours. Laurie says, hi Nicola, I haven't been around due to the new job. I love the progress you've made on these pieces. Some of them are among my favourites that you do. Envy is so stunning. Her dress looks 3D, folks. Thank you, Laurie. Yes, I have been, you have been in my thoughts with your new job, and I hope things are going well for you. And if you back into the swing of things, and fabulous, and the stitching time, I'm sure you'll make it. Okay. Oh, that sounds like Hannah's on the move. Oh, and proofing. You hear that trump then? I did. That's something else if you're new here. My family do definitely get involved in my videos. And when we say natural noises, we truly mean it. Happy birthday to Andy, says Karen. Mine is the 16th and I will be 60 eek. It's nothing but a number, Karen. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sure the years sit lightly on you. Many, many happy returns. And if I haven't sung a happy birthday song to you, I shall now. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Karen. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a lovely day.
Where's my bag?
Well, it usually is.
No, it's not.
Try on a chair.
Tried that.
Which bag?
A black one. My work bag.
Would you kindly assist her, please?
Yes, in a sec.
Okay, Daphne says great progress. Thank you, Daphne. Some weeks are better than others, for sure. And I'm still struggling a little bit after having this viral thing because waking up seems to be quite hard at the moment. I wake up tired. If I had something viral, that would definitely explain it.
Black.
Hannah, don't chin at him.
That is a pink. Looks like. You know what my work bag looks like. It's a black bag. Black shoulder bag.
Well, I don't know. It's not here. Lauren was in this lot looking for something else.
Check the chairs and under the table.
I checked all the chairs.
I don't know yet, Hannah. If it's not here, I don't know.
It should be because my work bag has got everything in it.
Sorry, guys. One moment. Sorry about that. Child in cannot find work bag crisis. Where were we? Esther Oval says, thank you for sharing. Lovely progress. Thank you for sharing. You're very welcome, Esther. It's always good to share a bit of progress. I do enjoy making my videos. Okay. I should be parking this thread in a minute because it goes into a bit of block stitching. I'll be doing that after. There's only a short length left, so I'll probably just work it out. Linda Love to Stitch says, nice update. Andrew's looking beautiful. I love your stitching shelf. I love Sailing Fairy. I have to work on mine more. I'm glad I bought Sailing Fairy before it was discontinued. Have a great stitching week. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, Sailing Fairy is retired, but I love how it's coming out. It's so true to the pattern, to the mock-up. And it's lovely, and the details are just lovely and clear, for want of a better word. Okay, I like that this was allowed fabric, says Heather Marie, on my Rivendell Castle stitch with me. Really good, got to hear the stitchy sounds. Yeah, that 20 count fabric, it's quite starched, so you can hear it. The only difficulty with that is that sometimes heavily starched fabric can shred your thread, but I don't seem to be having many problems with that, which is a good thing, potentially because it's, you know, 2 strands and I'm only working with short lengths. So I'm reducing the amount of time that the thread's passing through the fabric. But yeah, my ASMR stitch with me is, sometimes you'll hear the stitching sound quite clearly, but if it's a very soft fabric you won't. And there's not an awful lot I can do about that. By using the wrong size needle and stitching with something massive, there's not a lot I can do. Interesting noise first thing in the morning. Just have a look, Andy, and see what's going on. Or Hannah, whichever. That sounds a bit weird.
If I had to guess, I'd say CRACKH.
You mean the people over the road, the
Yeah.
questionable ones?
It's a van over the road in the house how I describe it.
Told you. They're the only ones that ever make a racket on the street.
Okay. Sometimes a boring or uneventful week is a good thing, says Patricia. Yes, it's very true. Last week there didn't seem to be an awful lot going on. And we like weeks like that, it means more stitchy time. is he chuffed? I didn't know that's Dean going to work, isn't it? Sounds like his garage door. Discombobulated, my favourite word, says Tori. Yeah. I was a bit discombobulated in that video. Perhaps because I wasn't 100%, but yeah. Apparently I was talking in my sleep last night, Hannah. So we know where Victoria gets it from now. Looking forward to seeing more of the Rivendell piece and its beautiful colours, says Katinka. Yep, it is looking fabulous. And the blends, there's a lot of blends, but I think the end result makes it worth it. That tree just looks phenomenal. I really, really loved how it came out, or how it's coming out, because it's not by any means finished. So yeah, the blends are, you know, do make it worth it, but they are time consuming. You know, having to get two different strands of colours, put them together, thread up your needle, trim them so down to the same length, you know, it is a bit more time, but the end result does make it worth it. Okay. Excuse me, just gonna grab a drink. Got a wee frog. Christian says, hi Nicola, thanks for your birthday wishes. This is on my Magpie Stitch with Me. My Floss for Monochrome March and Almost Home arrived yesterday. I can't wait to start both. I hope you get well soon and happy stitching. Thanks Christian, and I hope you had a wonderful day. Bye. Almost off the screen again there. Sorry about that, chaps. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. So our lovely Jodie also popped in on my Flosstube and commented to say, lovely visit, Nicola, and congratulations on the finish. It's very beautiful. Hope your week is relaxing and that Andy has a wonderful birthday. Happy birthday, Andy. Much love, Jodie. P.S. Looking forward to seeing more of Rivendell. The tree looks amazing and your needle was on fire this week again. Thank you, Jodie, and Andy did indeed have a wonderful birthday. He doesn't need any more socks. Okay, I just end up this thread, pick my next colour. Okay, I have a comment that looks to be in Polish, so I'm just going to whiz over and translate that. And it says, hello, you have beautiful works. I've seen that you're embroidering a green woman. I'm currently embroidering a purple one. Desire is the title. Best regards, and that is from Barbara. So thank you very much, Barbara, and great to have you here joining in on the channel. Let's clear the rest of this colour. It's only a short thread there that I used, so let's grab a longer one. It's wonderful. I get comments from people in other countries in their own language, and of course Google Translate helps enormously. So if you're watching this and English is not your first language and you're watching it via auto translate, then welcome. It's fabulous to have you. And isn't it nice that technology has advanced and evolved, that people can watch this and I can be understood howsoever that may happen, whether it be subtitles or an audio dub. It's really great and I love it. Okay, Karen on live stream Wednesday leaves me some hearts, so thank you very much. And then Robin leaves me a comment also on live stream Wednesday. So I showed on that stream and also on my Stitch With Me last Saturday how I attach my thread to my needle to stop it from slipping off, because I'm quite forceful pulling the needle through the thread, and a huge source of frustration for me was when the thread slipped off and I kept having to rethread my needle. So I decided to start to attach the end of the thread to my needle, which I've done, and I demonstrated that on my video. So Robin has commented to say, hi Nicola, just wanted to thank you for answering my question about your thread and needle threading process. I got it and I understand it, and I'm definitely going to try it. I have an inherited condition called essential tremors, passed down from my grandmother and my mother, which makes stitching difficult. I couldn't do any hobbies until I found out about a medical procedure that I had back in 2024 and 2025. Each side of the brain has to be treated separately, and this eliminated about 80% of my tremor. I can now do my knitting, crochet and cross stitching, thank heaven. But I do have difficulty. I've noticed when my thread gets short, I have difficulty keeping the thread on the needle because of the tremors. So I'm definitely going to try your trick. Thank you for sharing it with us. Yeah, so I never thought about it like that. I never thought that I don't have any condition that prevents me from stitching. My condition is more, I'm heavy-handed, but I never thought about it that, you know, my little trick could help somebody like yourself, Robin, who has a condition that means that what we find, you know, relatively simple can turn into, you know, quite, you know, a frustration for you. So I do hope you try it, and I hope it works. And if it does, fantastic. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was just born out of the fact that I'm heavy-handed. And I have a habit of pulling my thread off the needle. And you know how it is when you're a stitcher. Some days you can thread the needle, no problem. You're there all day long, rethreading, threading up and rethreading. It's absolutely fine. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, your hands just won't do it. Can't get the flipping thread onto the needle. That is my frustration. you know, when I have those kind of days. So I can't imagine what it's been like for you living with those tremors. And I do hope that, you know, having that procedure has helped you. I mean, it's never nice, the thoughts of, you know, having somebody, you know, doing any kind of medical procedure where the brain's involved. But if it's helped you, fantastic. And I'm so glad that you're able to stitch and to knit and crochet and do the things that you love. I can't imagine my life without a piece of stitching in my hands. I always said if it comes to a choice of losing a leg or an arm, it'd definitely be the leg. I'd sooner hop than not stitch. But yeah, I think it's wonderful that, you know, that you're going to give it a bash and see if it helps you. And I really, really hope it does. Oh, wrong place. Okay. Two Lady Homesteaders Hodge is a new subscriber, from what I understand. And this says, this comment is lovely. It says, like you, I am also a J.R.R. Tolkien fan. With many full coverage canvases going, I do want to start a Middle-earth map. I've had the chart in Pattern Keeper for such a long time. And this is from Vivian Ann, living 100% off-grid on the side of a mountain in northeast Tennessee, USA. Now, that is fantastic, Vivian. And it sounds like you have a wonderful life. I would love to live an off-grid life myself. I've seen many things about it, but you know, it's not so easy to take that plunge here. It potentially is. I just haven't looked at it. I do like the creature comforts and being able to turn on a light at will kind of thing. But yeah, the off-grid lifestyle is certainly something that's very appealing. But thank you very much indeed for sharing. And yes, I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. You'll see by, you know, as time goes on, by my other Lord of the Rings pieces. I do have quite the collection. And I love stitching on every one of them. So let's see, what have I got? Roman Middle-earth map. I've got I've got a Roman Middle-earth map. I've got two pieces that are by Unconventional X Stitch. Van Gogh Never Met, Van Gogh Never Passed. Rivendell Castle, Lord of the Rings stained glass. CatDalph, potentially you could say, is a Lord of the Rings one, because it's inspired, clearly. I have the One to Rule Them All as well. And Waiting in the Wings, I've got the Argonath two patterns with CatDalph, one called Almost Home and one simply called CatDalph. And I also have some of the travel posters, which are from Country Magic Stitch. So if you search online for Country Magic Stitch, they do some of the old 30s and 40s inspired travel posters. So yeah, I do love Lord of the Rings. Very nice. Hannah ready for work. Okay. Daphne leaves me a needle and thread, and on my All Is Vanity project, Kelly says, this is such a cool project. Is that tea on your fabric? Close, Kelly, it was coffee. I managed to put the cup of my sleeve into my coffee cup the last time I was working on it. Or the time before this that I was working on it. Because I had a wet patch on it and I couldn't understand where it come from. But yeah. A clumsy class here with a coffee stain, but you know, stitching's not stitching without some kind of extra mark on it, is it? Okay. Right, okay. It's filling in quite nicely now, this building.
I am leaving.
Okay, chicken, have a lovely day. We'll be back at 3, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let me know if anything changes.
Love you, Santa.
Love you. And then there were 2. Jane leaves me a series of emojis on my All Is Vanity, which includes some musical ones, so thank you, Jane. And then Marnie shows up on Livestream Wednesday to say, your videos always show up at the right time for me. I'm sitting beside my friend of 45 years as she says goodbye to her father on the birthday of my mother, who I lost 5 years ago. Seriously, your stitching and chatting soothes the soul. Thank you. Marnie, I'm so very sorry, and please pass on my condolences to your friend. It's a really hard thing to have to go through, and I'm glad that you've managed to find some peace in my videos to help you through these times. And I know how it feels to have the anniversary of a past loved one. February is always a hard month for me. It's my mum's birthday, also the anniversary of her passing just 6 days later, so I absolutely get it. But yeah, I'm glad that you found some peace in my video. Long may that continue. Oh, Andy's making a pumpy noise now, just for some light humour there. Oh dear. If it's not one, it's the other. And Noof Ghazi says, I'm glad I found your channel. Welcome. I'm inspired to buy the Ice Dragon. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm sure Sarah up at Pain Free Crafts will be absolutely delighted. She does do it in full kit form, but of course it is on a paper pattern. But yeah, so I do hope that you do get it and you enjoy it. It's not always a fun project for me because of the stitching on black fabric, but it's really nice to see how well it's coming out. See, managed to take my thread off the needle. Sonia Belen Ruiz Sanchez leaves me some hearts and smiley faces from sunny Spain. Thank you, Sonia. And I have another comment that I need to translate because this one looks to be in Russian. Let me see if I can find the name first. So, where's, oh, good old Google Translate. There we go, I don't want to lose my place in the comments. So, this is from Ina Bosikova. And the comment reads, what wonderful work you have. Very interesting. So thank you, Ina. Yep. And thank you for leaving a comment. Again, it's fantastic that people who do not have English as a first language are able to watch these videos and interact. I love it. Next comment is from Jane on my Lord of the Rings stained glass stitch with me, and she leaves me lots of emojis. And on the same video, our lovely Kelly's Quilts Plus says, "Hi Nicola, since you have Lord of the Rings as a large project, your 2000 stitch rotation will help get the black all done. I think 917 is a lovely magenta pink. I was wondering if stitching the monochrome Lily feels similar to stitching this project, Extreme Cross Country. I've never done Extreme Cross Country, so I don't have a comparison myself." So, kind of. But, you know, it's obviously the same style, Extreme Cross Country on both, but with the black being a primary colour and lots of other colours going to be going on to the Lord of the Rings stained glass, it's much easier to map areas of stitching. Whereas the Lily, because the 917 is the only colour, I'm working block by block and able to complete each block as it happens, so I'm actually seeing more of the finished product than the partially finished cross-country product, if that makes sense. So whilst they both have the same format in one colour, I'm going across the whole piece, the outcome is different for both, because I know and I can see that I'm going to have more colours on the stained glass piece. But of course on the Lily, the single colour is the final colour, so it's almost like putting in the last colour of Extreme Cross Country, but with nothing there as a reference point or anything. But they're definitely both interesting stitches, I'll say that. Okay, I just mark these stitches off so I don't get confused. South Stitching, this is the second of your videos I've watched. I enjoy watching you while stitching on my project. Oh, thank you for subscribing, or you know, well, I hope you are subscribed. It's a real pleasure to do these videos, so keep watching. 3 a week of the stitch with me. There's always something to suit everybody's taste. Oh, look, I've missed the top leg off a stitch there. I missed the top leg off this stitch. I'll have to go back and do that. So yeah, plenty of content, and of course the 2 live streams. So I wouldn't try to claim all of the stitchy viewers, but you know, it's really nice that we get lots of people watching. And yeah, a different video every week. I've got 20 odd projects, so the rotations are quite good. It's about 5 or 6 weeks to do a full rotation, something like that. In any case, I'm glad to have you and glad that you found something that you like on the channel. Bev Stone, I came across your channel a little while ago and I love your live streams. Oh, that's wonderful, Bev. I enjoy stitching with you. Thanks for all your hard work. Ah, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining in. You know, it's always nice to know that people are watching, certainly the live stream. So do feel free to join in on the chat on there if you haven't done so already. I don't believe you have, because your name doesn't ring a bell on the live stream chat. So yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic to have you. Daphne leaves me a needle and thread on Lord of the Rings stained glass. Yes, I'll have a freshen up, please.
You've not drunk that.
Yeah, but can I have a freshen up? And then Robin again comments to say thanks again for the needle threading technique. I've used it several times today and it does seem to help to keep the thread from unthreading because of my tremors when the thread gets shorter. There does seem to be a slight difference in the feel of the needle and thread, but it is very slight. I'm going to continue using the technique until I get used to it. I'm not as firm with my stitching as you are because of the tremors, so my confidence level is not as high as yours. So every tip or trick I can find to make my stitching easier, the better. I just wanted to add that I watch you from just southeast of Seattle, Washington. Thanks again, and I really admire your stitching and diligence at making progress with it. Oh, that's wonderful to hear, Robin. So I'm glad it's helping. We all develop our own little way of doing things, and you know, especially where we have some kind of a block in doing something, we seek out ways in which, to make things better for ourselves. And I'm so glad that you reached out and it has made things easier for you. It's always good to hear the good feedback. No idea what Andy's doing in there. Sounds like he's making a right mess. Okay, Patricia on live stream Wednesday, losing some hearts, and she does on a number of other videos. So on Flosstube 10, my actual Flosstube, my alternative stitch with me, and my Lord of the Rings stitch with me. So thank you very much, Patricia. Come on. And then Susan Savas says, stitching my stained glass crow whilst watching. I'm now completing 823. 310 is done, but they look the same. Thanks for the needle tip. Lovely video as always. happy stitching. Thank you, Susan, and you're welcome. Okay. Celia is back stitching. I'm so pleased. Celia had an accident in October and hasn't been able to stitch for a while. And I'm so glad that she's back and able to stitch. I think it was October, could have been November, could be wrong. And she is, of course, watching my Stitch With Me's whilst watching the football. So multitasking to the nth degree there, Celia. Thank you so much. And she just leaves me a comment with emojis. I translate those emojis as football, cats and stitching. What were you up to in there?
What?
What were you up to in there?
Changing the bed.
Oh. It's all very well if I don't try and stitch over a stitch that's already there, isn't it? Somebody sounds grumpy this morning, don't they?
Mm.
I don't think the kids want to go to school. Cindy on live stream Sunday says, hi all, and then cheer. Hi Nicola, I was surprised you remembered me when I stopped by the live today. Of course I did, yeah. Follow you on Instagram too. I've been a silent observer for quite some time. Don't usually feel like I have something worthwhile to say, but I do enjoy your videos and the chats. Awesome. I have two things. The first is an observation. Do you notice that you and a few other floss tubers tap the end of the needle if you put it up in the wrong spot before pulling it out? Yeah, you mean like this? Yeah, it's a bit of a habit. Don't know why I do it. I think it's maybe just to tap it down because the eye of the needle is too far up for me to grab it with my fingers underneath. Second is a question. Do you have problems with your threads shredding at times? Mine seems to be specific colours that do it most often, whilst many other colours don't have any problem. Do you have this happen, or am I just special? So with shredding threads, it's usually down to the quality of the thread, the thickness of it, because DMC 310 is known to look and feel thinner than other ones, other colours in the brand. So a lot of people do use anchor thread for that reason, or an alternative 310. Also, the eye of the needle can have some burrs on it, which will also shred the thread as time goes on. The other thing that may happen is if your thread length is too long, passing it in and out of a starched fabric will also shred it. So if the thread is a little bit thin to begin with, and then you've got a fairly long length, and you're going through a starched fabric, it'll shred it. Also make sure that the needle that you're using is big enough for the project, so you're using the right size needle for the fabric count. If you just Google needle sizes, you'll see. So basically what it is that the needle's eye should open the whole of the fabric enough for the thread to pass through. Theoretically, you shouldn't hear any sound from the thread passing through. But of course, you know, you very often do. So yeah, I would be checking your needles, change your needles to, especially if you use DMC brand needles, those are known for having burrs on the eye of the needle. So Bohin, John James, Prim needles tend to be quite good. And of course I've never had a problem with the ball tip needle that I use either. So yeah, a few checks there for you to make, dear. So check your needle eye, that you're using the right size needle, you're not using too much fabric length. If when I split my skeins, I split them into 16 into ½ meter lengths. I use 2 strands if I'm doing like such as my Lord of the Rings stained glass, and obviously one strand double, that gives me a very short length. And I find that ½ meter is enough that I don't get shredding. I have had a couple of times where thread that's in my Geckorouge kit has shredded. But to be fair, because I get such a lot of thread, it's not a problem. I get more than enough to complete the project. So yeah, hope that helps. Come in. There's somebody at the door.
Answer the door then. Sorry, I'm being daft.
That's all right, because so was I. There was a kids' TV programme where there was a knock at the door. I can't remember which the programme it is now, but it used to go knock, 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 and then they used to go, there's somebody at the door.
I know what you're on about, but I can't remember which programme it was. Can you?
No. Nope, no clue. Anyway, happy birthday, says Karen, on a live stream Sunday. And then Noof Ghazi says, is this the Ice Dragon? Yes, indeed, it was the Ice Dragon. Okay. So yeah, Ice Dragon was out on my Sunday stream last week. Robin says, project is looking amazing, good progress today. Happy belated birthday to Andy, by the way. My birthday is one day before his. Aha, so yours would have been on the Friday, so happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday, dear Robin. Happy birthday to you. That's twice I've had to sing on this one. Third time's the charm, isn't it? But yeah, hope you had a lovely birthday. You and Karen both celebrating alongside Andy. She says, believe it or not, we had a snow-free winter all season in Western Washington, except on my birthday, where about 3 inches fell, and we had 2 power outages. It was pretty while it lasted, and there's still some left on the lawns, but the roads are clear. Take care, happy stitching. Thank you, Robin. And you know, I remember it's Lauren's birthday in April, and I can remember a few years ago we had snow on that day, and it was one of the few days of snow that year. And it's funny how it happens sometimes. On my Facebook memories a few years ago, it was snow as well. Because you and I were getting across the Pennines, in it, love? Off to Manchester. Okay, I think we're almost at the end of comments. Patrizia leaves some hearts on live stream Sunday, and Judy says, missed the live again, but hopefully I'll be stitching with everyone on Wednesday. Project is looking great. So thank you very much, Judy. And then Urte comments and says, happy birthday to Andy.
Hi.
Where am I here? More racket out there. Okay. And then we have another new commenter on my ASMR Stitch With Me, Coastal. First of everything today, says Joanne Brown, watching, liking and hyping 1500 points. Love your stitching. Happy stitching. Thank you so much, Joanne. It's fantastic of you. And thank you to everybody that does hype the videos. I know that 1 or 2 of you do it on a regular basis. And thank you so much to those of you who do. I believe that's potentially how I'm getting some new content. Oh, sorry, not new content. Content's the same. New subscribers. I'll get it right one day. And Mona says, watching you stitch, and it's great. Thank you, Mona. Kelly says, coastal looks pretty. I guess the flowers are somewhat confetti heavy. Do you do about 100 stitches or so for one of your Stitch With Me videos? So Stitch With Me videos, the number of stitches can differ depending on the project. If it's all single colour or blocky stitching, like my Lord of the Rings stained glass, I can easily do and potentially pass 400 stitches in an hour and a half. If it is confetti heavy, you can do about 250 stitches in that hour and a half, but it really does depend on the piece. This one's kind of a mixture of both, and we are an hour and 10 in almost, and I have done 280 stitches that I've marked off. So you know, it can vary greatly. The more colour changes I have to do, the less stitches I get done. Stitching shelf is one that I do, what, 250-ish, maybe 300 stitches, depending on the section I'm working in. So yeah, it's very piece dependent. Okay, and Vivi Firewheel, you don't anchor your last stitch and just left the tail long for future stitches. Doesn't last stitch come loose if stitching sitting there for too long. So I would have parked a thread to come back to it later, and generally speaking they don't come loose, but if they do, it's just a case of just gentle pull on the long tail of the thread, and it'll correct that. But generally speaking, they don't tend to come loose. I'm quite lucky in that respect. And with parking, it won't be long before, you know, I go back and pick it up in any instance. I try not to leave many park threads on these smaller pieces. I prefer to work sort of more typewriter method and use up the entirety of the thread where I can, but sometimes it's just not possible because stitches are so scattered. It's outside of the working area I've got on the hoop. And then Gia says, I believe you mentioned that this is a paper pattern for All Is Vanity. Do you have any tips or tricks working with paper pattern? I have some kits that are in the wings, so I'd appreciate any suggestions. In the past, I've struggled with missing stitches and marking ones that I've done, etc. So first thing I would say, Gio, is have a working copy. A working copy that you can mark off the stitches. And I tend to work on paper patterns much like I do with Pattern Keeper, and do it a block at a time. you know, so let's just grab my pattern. So here, this is part of Ice Dragon. This is my working copy. So I can tell you here that there are 9 stitches to do in this block because the shaded I've already done on the last page. So once I've stitched in those 9 stitches, I could just mark off the entire block. And then in the next block underneath, I work from the top down. So I did all of this colour first, and then I did this colour, and then this colour, and so on. And then I parked the threads in the block underneath, so once I'd finished that block, I could just mark it off and know that I'd done 79 stitches. So when I next pick up Ice Dragon, I know that I will have at least potentially 3 park threads in this. So I'll just pick up and carry on where I left off, and so on. I tend to work down in columns on paper rather than in, you know, typewriter or anything like that. But absolutely, a working copy is important, so that, you know, you don't mess up your original pattern by marking on it. If you never intend to stitch on it again, then fine, you know, mark off the original. But if it is a pattern that you do intend to stitch on again, you know, make a working copy. But yeah, I tend to be a bit more regimented and go block by block. I used to go block by block even on Pattern Keeper, but to be fair, I don't tend to anymore, except on my Middle Earth map and my Leonid Afremov piece. Those are the only 2 that I'm going block by block on. So if you want an idea of how that works, just check out either one of those videos. But I'm working in the column on Lord of the Rings stained glass. But end of the day, you'll find a rhythm. Patricia leaves us some hearts on my Roseanne Bell Stitch With Me, and Cheryl comments on my Sunday stream to say that she was busy having a family time on Sunday with it being Mother's Day, and she said she missed the stream. No worries at all, Cheryl, and I hope you had a very happy Mother's Day. So just a couple more comments before we end up this video. And we've managed to, comments have gone right to the end today, so I definitely had more. So thank you very, very much.
Well, you've got a whole host of new people.
I certainly do.
To talk to.
Yeah.
Where are they all coming from?
So Christiane says happy birthday to Andy. And Jane says lovely company to my own stitching on my coastal video. So thank you guys very much indeed. That comes to the end of my projects, my comments. So thank you very, very much indeed, those of you that have left a comment today. I've been able to spend the entirety of this video going through your comments and not having to fill it with chatter. I do appreciate each and every one of you that leaves me a comment, that does the like and the hype and everything else, and thank you all so much. I've had around 70 new subscribers so far in March, so whatever you guys are doing, it's clearly making a difference, and we're spreading the word of this craft. So yeah,
keep doing it, keep doing it,
keep doing it, keep doing it. So yeah, this is filling in quite nicely. It's doing all right. 32. So yeah, it's always fantastic to read the comments, and it's nice, you know, when people are asking me stuff as well. I do plan on doing some more videos of my sort of how-tos in time. And don't forget that, like my starting and ending my threads and all the rest of it, I do have a techniques playlist. So if you go to my channel and select playlists, you'll see one that's called techniques, and you'll see my different videos. So working on a parking method, my starting and ending my threads, how to stop slippage on evenweave, you know, where your thread slips underneath the weave of the fabric. So yeah, do go and check out that playlist as well.
There are certain situations where you don't want slippage.
Yeah, I mean, cross stitching is definitely one of them when your stitch disappears. You went there, not me.
You can't tell me that people watching this won't go there as well.
So I'm able to end this video on time. I will go through my usual end of video reminders now. There'll be 3 videos that appear on the screen in a moment. If you've not seen those, please do go take a few minutes to have a look. I release my Flosstube on Tuesdays, Stitch with Me's on Mondays, Thursdays and Saturdays, all at 6:30 p.m. UK time. Still can't get that right. And on Sundays and Wednesdays, I do a live stream at 7:30 p.m. UK time. On my live streams on Sundays, I will work on my Sunday stitch unless I've had a new start. And on Wednesdays, I work on my focus for a finish, which is currently B, my Lorna Lane Geckorouge piece. So if you can join me for any of those videos, it will be fabulous. So as a content creator, leaving likes and comments helps me out greatly, and of course, as now does hyping the video. In the description box below, you will find a link to my Facebook group. You'll find all the information about all of the projects I'm stitching, plus my waiting in the wings list at the bottom. My standard is that once I've finished, or my current standard is once I've finished 2 pieces, I will have a new full coverage start. So I have to finish 2 of my long-standing rotation pieces for a new start. I finished one earlier this year, so as soon as B is finished, I can treat myself to a new full coverage start, which will be fantastic. But we have now reached the hour and 30 minutes mark, and I have now completed 317 stitches. So I'll just zoom out. And as you can see, this building is filling in quite nicely. So almost, you know, probably another session on that top bit and it'll be done. So thank you guys very much indeed for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And you know my usual stuff. So thank you for very much watching. Do take care. Happy stitching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.